Hello and welcome to the show. We start this week's first episode on GTA 5 with Mustang Bugatti and a Submarine. I mean, these things can be a little bit weird, to say the least, and this one, well, wants to be a plane. Yes, that's quite a flight for the Submarine, but not only does it go for a fly, it then goes for, I guess, the Submarine equivalent of a wheelie before rolling over, wheeling its way upside down towards the beach. That's definitely not how you submarine at all. In fact, it almost made its way all the way onto the motorway. Yeah, that's not how any of that should work. It's probably the biggest jump from a submarine ever. Well, funny enough, they're not really supposed to jump, and then it continues to kind of glitch out until it eventually comes to a rest on the beach. It's just not gone very well. We move on to Horizon 5 next with Race Day. Now we are at the start of a race. This is a cross-country race, I think. We've all got these off-road trucks. Now the Jeep here doesn't get a particularly great start, and further back some AIs are going quicker. They manage to land right on the roof of said Jeep, bounce off the roof of another car before going for a roll, and the Extreme E vehicle amazingly lands on its wheels. It does go for a spin, but still, it's one hell of a carry for that one. Steel Guns also having issues of a different kind at the start of a Horizon 5 race. Now this is a multiplayer race. We've seen problems on this bridge before, and it is sure enough some traffic, but this is really unlucky. The BMW gets twanged straight off of the bridge because some trucks. So it's not actually traffic as such. Well, it's not huge amounts of cars. It's the truck spawning inside a truck that causes issues here. The flatbed gets sort of spun sideways, and the player has nowhere to go. Incredibly unlucky. Two very bad starts to some races. Train Guy up next on dirt is racing around a custom circuit, and they figure out, you can ride the walls. There's this sort of catch fence. You can make up some speed by riding the walls. I like the thinking, a little bit sneaky and everything, but what they didn't count on is the dismount's quite tricky, and sometimes the dismount might get you wedged between the ceiling and the floor. Yeah. Wasn't quite the shortcut in the end. That K-Truck up next on Battlefield 5 is having a battle with some tanks. Managed to get under... this is not how you're supposed to tank battle. You're not supposed to get underneath your opponent. There's more Robot Wars, if anything. But regardless, they do. The push of war ends with the player we're riding on board with here winning. Problem is... I say winning. They destroyed the other vehicle, yes. They got the kill, yes. However... tanks have got wedged together and physics doesn't know what to do with this. It's just continuing to glitch things out. The surviving tank can't put all its tracks on the ground. In fact, it's barely struggling to stay facing the right way up. We're still twisting and flipping and spiraling through the air. It's not gone well. Yeah, might have won that one-on-one battle, but neither really won there. Snake Wildcat on Dakar Desert Rally is up next, racing the trucks around here. Gets a little bit of a tag from an AI vehicle, hits a rock and proceeds to have an almighty accident. It's a lot of spinning, flipping and twisting for that bounce off of a rock. I mean, the getaway landing on the wheels and can carry on. But yeah, that's a big shunt indeed. Although speaking of big crashes, Zack Attack on BeamNG Drive is testing a highly modified configuration. I think it's Barstow here. Going up towards 200 miles an hour is a lot of speed. However, gets it wrong over a crest. There's some trees on the outside, and the car finds the trees. It's a very, very big crash, as you would expect at that sort of speed. But what it's done to the car is some of the most impressive. Cubing, I think, is the best way to describe it. So they get the node grabber to pull it out. It has literally made the car into a cube. It's pushed the front axle to basically be directly alongside the rear axle. It is taller than it is long. I mean, I've played a lot of Beam. I've had a lot of crashes, a lot of high-speed crashes and so on, but this is still mighty impressive. There's bits of car. There's a front bumper and the radiator are over there. But yeah, that's still... to manage to make almost not quite a perfect cube, but a good cube attempt out of a car is some good going. Douglas is up next on BeamNG Drive, is racing, and... wow, that's a modded truck. big, heavy-duty off-road truck. And they're actually being chased by the police. Now, this should be a difficult thing to stop. They've lost a wheel and everything, but should still be a difficult thing to stop. However, the police have some clever tactics. The FailRace Police Department is working very efficiently this time because they managed to scoop it up. And with the damage to the front of it, it isn't actually... Oh, I don't think they locked the diffs, but still, it's an impressive way of managing to scoop and block a truck there. Ancient Proverb is up next on Need for Speed Heat, and while the FailRace Police Department were doing an impressive job of managing to deal with a truck, they were doing a less impressive job of managing to deal with a Ford. Yep, that's front flips and barrel rolls. I don't even know what went on. There is a glorious freeze frame over that jump where they just all suddenly forget how to car and become Beyblades. I don't know. I don't know. However, more weirdness. Way more weirdness is on our Factor 2 here with Dragon Hunter. Now, they're going to do some practice with some V8 Supercars. Now, I love V8 Supercars, one of my favourite race series in the world. Now, the player car, that's working fine. Keep an eye on Scott Pye in the background. That is not working fine. That's not how you car at all. Whatever reason, these mods have had something go wrong with the tyres, and everything is broken, and everything. We're going to go with Wheelie Big Cheese now. That's kind of what they remind me of. We'll go with Robot Wars references today. Why not? Dale Wood's having a bad time, and Jamie Wincombe's also gone and exploded. So if they go over about, I don't know, 20, 30 mile an hour, the tyres just explode. The tyres have just had enough and decide that there's one in the garage spinning around, there's the Weird Bull car having a bad day, doing about 300 miles an hour in all sorts of wrong. That's gone through the floor. It's just not right. We can ride on board with McLaughlin here as they leave to go out, and it is, it's about 40 mile an hour, or kilometre, I don't know what it's measuring in actually, where the tyres just explode into this silly mode. This one here is actually one of the more tame instances of it as well, actually, with the car only going backwards. But that's broken. That's very broken. That is one of my favourite clips I think we've had on. We've had lots of very, very good clips on this series. That is up there. I was not expecting exploding tyres, if I'm honest. Not like that anyway. But there we go. That is going to be it for this episode. As ever, if you have clips you'd like to submit to this series, you can via a Google form. There'll be a link to it in the description. All the rules and how it works can be found on there. That, though, is going to be it from me. Thank you all very much for watching. And until next time, goodbye.